Hmm? Ah!
Out, everyone, now.
Look, I'm sorry if I've overstepped my bounds, but I
Stop
just...
talking, Hume. I've heard what you've had to say. Now you listen to me. I want you to stop.
Stop? Stop what?
Someone has clearly affected the way you see things. This is a serious problem. It is, in fact, a violation. So whatever you're doing, whatever it is you think you're looking for, you need to stop looking for it.
Do you know what I'm looking for, Mrs. Whitmore?
I don't know why you're looking for anything. You have the perfect life. On top of it, you've managed to attain the thing you've wanted more than anything. My husband's approval.
How do you know what I want?
Because I bloody do.
I need to see that list. Or you need to tell me why I can't.
Can't. Because you're not ready yet, Desmond.
Ready for what?
Welcome to the 100th episode of the Revisited Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Kristin. For our 100th episode of the Revisited Podcast, we are covering Lost, Season 6, Episode 11, Happily Ever After.
Yay, no complaints. No marks. No remarks.
Oh, there was a pause.
And it'll be left in editing, too.
Happy 100th.
Yay, 100 episodes.
We did it.
There's 52 weeks in a year, which means 100 episodes would have taken us a little over 2 years that we did in 4.
We did great. There was this little thing called a pandemic right in the middle of it.
Pandemic along with high anxiety, as well as a lot of other issues that caused a little bit of a break. But hey, we've been doing good these past couple weeks. We've been on track. I know today is a little delayed, but it's still out on the day that it releases, which is fine. And we have a great episode to talk about. Probably not a lot to talk about, but
that's okay.
You know what? Every time we say that, we end up going for like 2 hours.
No, we can't today.
No, because I have scheduled maintenance happening.
Yes.
That adds to interesting scheduling. But I do want to say one thing. This being the 100th episode, we have promised you something, and we're going to deliver. And that is, at the end of this episode, we will be revealing the next series we will be diving into once our Lost coverage wraps.
Yay!
I'm very excited, not just to make the announcement, but to start like actually diving into this show, because
me too.
I love this show so much. And hopefully people that are listening are just as excited. I've gotten some feedback from people who have saying like, doesn't matter what the show is. They're ready for it. They've been listening to us since the beginning and they're going to stick with us past it. So,
well, thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the verbal diarrhea that sometimes this podcast can be.
Hey, and so much so that it has created a second podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Which is really super fun.
Which we hope you guys are checking that one out too, because we've only done a couple episodes so far, but we're having a blast.
My kids sure are. That's for darn sure.
Are they okay? So are they having a blast listening or just having fun choosing the movies?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Well, they don't listen to our podcast.
Oh, so well then how is it yes? Because I said, are they listening?
Because they like being involved in the podcast.
Oh, well then that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only podcast that they really like is the Andor podcast by Podcastica.
Okay.
But that's just because, they're British and they talk about their favorite subject,
They're British at heart.
Yeah.
I want to make quick mention too, because it's, being a Podcastica podcast, we'll plug Podcastica away. We're going to start doing that more because we haven't been doing it enough. But I do want to mention that I'm trying to find the information on it right now. It's something that maybe your kids might be interested in if you want to introduce them to podcasts. Alex over on Podcastica has just started a new podcast, and it's actually with his daughter Lucy. It's called Daddy Daughter Bookworms, and it's him and his daughter actually reviewing children's books. They read the books together and they review the books. So it's a brand new podcast. So whether your kids listen to it or not, Kristin, I just wanted to give it a quick plug.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes. And we'll give you all the information at the end of the podcast.
There needs to be more podcasts directed towards kids, I think, that don't talk down to kids, that, give them something to actually think about. I think that that's a really good idea. I've wanted to do that with my kids for a really long time, and I might explore doing something like that with the new Percy Jackson TV series that's coming out, just because I know how excited they are. And we've been watching Stranger Things with the kids this week. We've binged the first 2 seasons, and listening to my daughter just theorize and break it down episode by episode, I'm like, oh, you have such a brain for podcasting. So it'd be fun to explore that with her. I think that she'd have a really good time doing it.
Yeah, and I'm just as excited for Percy Jackson as your daughter is. So maybe I can be a guest if you decide to do something.
That would be so fun.
Yeah. But again,
that's not our next show.
No, it's not our next show. Percy Jackson is not our next show. We promise you the announcement is coming at the end of this episode what our next show is. So make sure you stick around all the way till the end.
Happy 100.
Hey, happy 100 to you. Let's dive into this. So if you're not already aware, at this point, 100 episodes in, this is a spoiler-full podcast. So we will be talking about things. There's always a chance we're going to be talking about things that have yet to happen, as well as the things that have already happened in the past. So season 6, episode 11, Happily Ever After, a Desmond episode. That started with the eye, the close-up on the eye. We haven't gotten that in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a couple of eyes, actually. Every single time he was going in and out of consciousness, it always started with his eye.
I wasn't paying enough attention. Is there a mirror moment? Okay.
So there's a mirror moment there's a few mirror moments. There's one with Desmond. There might be 2 with Desmond, but there's definitely one with Desmond. There's one with Charlie. Is that it? Just one with Desmond and one with Charlie? I think so. I have to double check right now because I did take note of that. Give me 1 second. So you talk.
Oh, the infamous you talk so there's not dead air moments of a podcast.
You don't edit it enough.
No, I really don't. I like our conversations to seem conversational. So when there's my brain died moments, I like to keep them in.
My brain does die every single time.
Yeah, I try to pay attention to that now ever since Jason made the notes about it. And I haven't been doing a very good job of paying attention. There's a lot of very clear reflection of flash sideways to flash present to present in this episode. But as far as actually seeing physical reflections of a character, I was not paying enough attention to kind of notice.
Okay, here we go. We have the flash sideways timeline begins with Desmond's reflection in the oceanic arrival board. So when he's looking at the board at the airport, Desmond's reflection is also seen in the police station door. Daniel Widmore's reflection is seen in Desmond's car window. Is that it? I think that's it. I thought that there was one with Charlie, but there isn't.
Okay. So the moments are definitely there. The police station, I remember now that you brought it up, because you do see the moment where he's walking up to the door and Desmond does see his own reflection in the door. The destination board at the airport, I really wasn't paying enough attention to. I did really like that moment, that interaction between Desmond and Claire in the airport.
You, yeah.
It really showed us the charmingness that the charming nature that Desmond has, which we already knew. But I just loved seeing it, and especially interacting with a character that we've already seen and that we know.
Yeah. And, I like that his character, while it's very different, the core of who Desmond is not different at all in this episode. He's a businessman. He likes being successful. He's a very corporate guy, which Desmond never was in the original timeline. But he's still kind. He's still chivalrous. He still has that Desmond quality to him that we all know and love.
Yeah, it's we're seeing a different. You're right. The lifestyle of Desmond has definitely changed, but the personality characteristics have stayed the same.
Yeah.
He is at his core the same person we've always known Desmond to be.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting seeing who his boss is in this episode, and that's Charles Widmore. So
off-putting to see them all like, Desmond, my boy. Oh, Charles, nice to see you. And you're like, I don't like it. Make it stop.
Well, again, like I mentioned, the reflections of characteristics and timelines in, when we see those reflections, they become the opposite of what they are. We're seeing things in reverse. And it was very interesting to me to see Desmond and Charles share the glass of whiskey that earlier on, Charles always made Desmond sure to know he was not good enough to drink.
Right. Yeah.
And now he's willingly handing him a glass of this whiskey, and they're drinking it together.
Right.
So much different.
The whole interaction between the two of them is very different, I do like it that we have some callbacks, though, in Charles Widmore's office when he gets into the office. Like, he admires the sailboat that's on the wall, which is obviously a callback to Desmond entering that sailboat race to prove that he's good enough for Penny. So, we have that little callback or that reminder of their original relationship. We have two paintings of scales. The first painting of the scales has black pieces on it, and I think the second painting has white pieces on the scale.
Oh, I missed that.
Which is very cool.
Well, because we've already seen the scales play out between Jacob and Men in Black. And we've always wondered which side. Well, we haven't really wondered which side Charles Widmore falls on. Well, we do kind of wonder it now, because he does have good intentions. He's just, as we talked about last episode, Charles Widmore seems to have good intentions, just horrible actions. Like, he's doing what he feels is right, but with he's just going about the wrong way of doing it.
Yeah.
So
throwing Desmond in a electromagnetic box is definitely the wrong way to do something.
Well, we talked about this last episode, and the revelation that I came to by the end of last episode that I never really came to before, and I don't know why I didn't. And that is, once you know by the end of this season, by the end of the series, what the Flash Sideways actually is, it makes you revisit this episode and realize something, in that Desmond never crossed over into a parallel world, which is what we're meant to believe happens in this. That's not what happens at all. Desmond was dead. Whatever the experiment was killed him. But he came back. this is all near-death experience for Desmond. Because we
In
know
this episode.
because we know the flash sideways is the afterlife.
Right.
Well, it's the in-between.
Right.
So
it's the bridge.
It's the bridge between life and the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
So for this machine to have sent Desmond there means he was dead. Or
yeah, but Eloise also says, but Eloise says you're not ready for this yet.
Well, because
it's not time.
So my theory to that is that yes, I think that's because one, he was not meant to die in that moment. So that's why she tells him that. But also, he's also not prepared to move on yet. He hasn't come to the realizations in his life he needs to move on, like much like we've already seen with Locke. We've seen kind of with Jack. We still need to see with other characters. We're finding out, like in the Flash Sideways, there's particular moments in their life they need to come to grips with before they can peacefully move on. And Desmond, because he's not meant to have died yet, hasn't come to those points in his life yet because he still has more life to experience.
Mm-hmm.
So so Eloise telling him you're not ready she's speaking truth. This is almost like, again, I'm not a religious person. This is almost like a voice of someone at the heavenly gates or a god saying, this is not your time to die.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you need to go.
I mean, obviously, Charles Widmore has his own. He likes to play God. We know this. Mm-hmm. He has liked playing God for 6 seasons now. So, I think that Charles Widmore kind of forcing the situation is, for the first time that I can say this about Charles Widmore, is almost like a blessing in disguise, because we're going to find out that Desmond is the key to the end game of this series,
which I totally forgot about until the end of this episode.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty cool. So without Desmond being forced into this situation, they would have been stuck there for a really long time.
I don't know if I don't know if I agree that they would be stuck there. I think eventually everything would have worked its way to the way it should be. But it also makes me question something now that we're talking about this, and we're saying that conversation with Eloise Widmore, by the way, not Hawking, of her telling Desmond like it's not your time is the revelation that Desmond has died too early in his life. Mm-hmm. I now question, because Charlie also seems to be very tuned in this episode of what is going on.
Charlie had a near-death experience on the plane.
Yeah, but he's already dead. How do you have a near-death experience when you're already dead?
Maybe that's the key to it. I don't know.
Well, no. What I'm thinking is, and this is my ongoing theory that I'm just kind of now realizing, is that if Desmond was close to death too early before he was meant to die, and now because of that, he's kind of a little clear, like he's tuned into all this stuff that is happening. Things are not how they should be. Charlie also is in tune to all these things. Did Charlie die before he was meant to? Did he meet his death before it was originally planned?
His original death,
the not Penny's boat death, was that death pre when it was meant to happen? Did his sacrifice change things so now that in the after or in the in-between, he is more aware of things because he seems very clearly able to see?
Well, I mean, that's a really good question. One thing that I would counter with is that Charlie is a character that as a heroin addict, he has been chasing death for a really long time. He likes to kind of flirt with the idea that he could die at any time. And I think that we see that especially when he gets out of jail and he just crosses the street without really like caring whether or not he dies.
Yeah,
no regard at all. You could say kind of the same thing. Well, As I say this out loud, the one thing about Charlie on the island is that he did seem to be a survivor. He lied his way to make sure that he survived with Claire's relationship, with his friendships on the island, with pretty much everything. In this case, in this Flash Sideways case, he seems to be really honest about kind of everything. I mean, he's honest about, when he almost died on the plane, or quote unquote died on the plane, and then he had no regard for death later. He tried to die again in the water, which was interesting, just because Desmond was able to save him in this instance, and he wasn't able to save him in the last instance, which I kind of love. It's kind of like Desmond got to complete that one event that he couldn't seem to change in his past without knowing that was in his past, Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, Desmond and Charlie are intertwined together. They always will be intertwined together. So I think the fact that it was Charlie that showed Desmond kind of what was going on in this Flash Sideways, and he was kind of like his sponsor or his guardian angel during this electromagnetic unconsciousness or Flash Sideways that Desmond was having. I think it fit really well with kind of Desmond's character and who would be guiding him through this scenario.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I definitely see a lot of that. And it's, you bring up the whole underwater thing as well. And that scene was kind of jarring, is not the right word, because I had completely forgot about, again, there's a lot of elements.
I forgot about 80% of this episode.
So there's a lot of this episode that I did not remember. I didn't remember the end with, Desmond asking for the manifest, and as you said, being kind of like the catalyst that brings everybody together finally. I also did not remember that we were going to be reminded of Charlie's death. Charlie's death to me, and I know we talked about this a while ago, back in like season 3 when it happened, it's still one of the most memorable character deaths in television.
Everybody knows, if you've watched Lost even once, you know what Not Penny's boat means.
Yes. Yeah.
You just do.
So to see it again was kind of jarring a little bit.
Underwater, flashed back and forth. And Charlie knew what he was doing when he put his hand up like that. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, that's what I mean by, is Charlie more in tune? Like, Charlie is definitely more in tune to, when I say in tune, meaning he knows that there is something that's not the way it should be.
Yeah, at first I disagreed with that, and then I don't know if you just heard my weird diatribe there.
I heard.
Ago, but yeah, I went from completely disagreeing to completely agreeing with you in like 60 seconds.
Oh yeah, and I trust me, I heard it. I was just kind of like inner monologuing, like, I'm gonna let her have this one.
No, you should. Yeah, thanks. Sometimes it takes me a little longer to get there.
But yeah, like, that's what I mean. Like, I think Charlie, that's why I'm questioning now, did Charlie's death in real life, the Not Penny's boat moment, was that something that was not meant to happen? Was that a sacrifice that was premature for Charlie's life? And that's why now in the in-between, he is more in tune with things, similarly to how Desmond is. It wasn't his time to die, but yet he's in the in-between when he's not supposed to be. Therefore, he's kind of more realized as to, this is not the way things should be. There's something about this that's not right. Because even the moment when Charlie is walking across the street from the police station to the pub, which I don't know if I've ever seen an instance where there's a pub across the street from a police station.
They'd get so much business.
It seems to be, a little counterintuitive, but it is what it is. Oh no, that's a courthouse, not a police station. Never mind. When he's walking across the street with no regard, he kind of already realizes, like, if I die, it doesn't matter. He hasn't realized he's already dead, but he's come to the realization that death does not matter.
Well, he wants to die because he wants to get back to that feeling that he had on the plane as the darkness was closing in.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you know that there's something waiting for you like that, wouldn't you try to get back to it?
Well, which also makes me question, as I mentioned earlier, how do you have a near-death experience when you're already dead? Maybe that was not a near-death experience. Maybe that was Charlie crossing over. And it was prevented because it was premature. He was not meant to cross over on his own.
Yeah, he can't cross over on his own. He has to cross over with Claire.
Exactly.
So he did it prematurely, but I think that's where he doesn't understand his place in the Flash sideways.
I agree with that.
He's trying to, just like Charlie, just like original Charlie, he's trying to force his way through something that he needs to take his time with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that.
I don't know, go find the girl.
Well, but I also think that's why it's actually pretty kismet that Desmond and Charlie are connected in this world, is because you're right. Charlie was prematurely moving on when he shouldn't have been yet. It wasn't his time to move on. He needed the catalyst to help him realize about that. And that's where Desmond comes in, because Desmond is now the one that's going to bring everybody together that need to move on together.
Right. Which is going to be great. We have reached the beginning of the end.
I can tell you right now, and this is a little bit of, that's a good way to put it. We have reached this is the beginning of the end for all of this. I can tell you right now, just for pure interest, I actually jumped to the last 10 minutes of the series finale. And I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched maybe a minute and a half of it.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I was getting emotional.
Oh, no.
And the fact that I was getting emotional, I was like, I don't remember being this emotional the last time I watched this. I think actually analyzing this show and breaking down these episodes and all of these characters and their interactions, I'm warning you right now, because I have a feeling it's going to hit me. This series finale is going to hit harder than it has before.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I specifically went back to rewatch the Ben moment because it's one of my favorite moments. And I ended up watching a little bit more past that. And even the Ben moment, I was like, I'm getting choked up at this. I love
that your feelings are just always right there on the cusp.
I'm like, I can't watch this till the end because I'm going to be a mess.
Right.
I will wait until we get to this before I actually watch it in full.
Right. Yeah. Well, and speaking of emotional, right? We see Jin in this episode, which I don't understand why he's in this episode other than to annoy us that his story hasn't progressed in 11 episodes.
Yeah, you're right. Like what? I didn't think about it until now, but you're right. What place does Jin have in this story?
I don't know. He was contractually obligated to be in a certain number of episodes. Like, I don't understand it at all.
I don't get it either. And it is kind of annoying now that I think about it. But I will tell you this, my very first note, actually it's my second note. My very first note after the classic eye close up is, Zoe.
Oh my gosh, Zoe still sucks. That's here. Sucks. That's in my note.
Yes, I don't know what it is about her character. She seems great. Maybe that's what it is. I'm sure the actress is a very nice person. I cannot stand the character of Zoe.
No,
don't know what it
worst. Is. She seems incompetent. Like everything that she's done, she's fumbled so far. Everything.
Well, I mean, we talked about this last week because you brought up a good point in that maybe like Charles's team is kind of trying to overstep him and do things their own way. And he's kind of just the people that brought them together, but they have their own plan. So I kind of tried to pay attention to that this week, and I didn't see that at all this week. Charles is the one pulling the strings. Mm-hmm. But regardless as to whether or not Zoe and the team are in charge or Charles is in charge. Oh, God, I just heard that in my head.
Of our days and our nights.
Totally unintentional. It doesn't matter who's pulling the strings. Zoe is annoying.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
So is the other guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. That's how much I care about him.
They don't feel like scientists to me.
No. They seem like they're pretending.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. They feel like they're chaperones. If that makes sense. Like they're basically fill-in characters.
Well, like the one guy that's like, hey, I forgot this lever isn't I'm just gonna do it right now. Never mind the fact that it's the big blast of whatever it is that we're shooting at somebody. I'm gonna do this unchecked.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem very incompetent.
Yes.
But I mean,
but it shows how I think that is to show us. I'm sorry to step on you.
No.
I think that is to show us how desperate Charles is to make this particular thing happen.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you consider, you look at the scientists, look at the actual scientists that Charles has used already in the past. You had Charlotte, you had Daniel, you had Miles, and
Naomi.
Naomi, thank you. These four were actual intelligent scientists.
Well, he actually also had the whole group with Eloise back when he was younger too, which those were actual scientists as well.
And then you look at, you had the people on the boat as well in George, who we see in this character, was one
Dr.
of the
George.
Was one of the characters on the freighter. He was the one that kind of went crazy.
Kind of.
Okay, he went crazy.
But he was directly responsible for helping Desmond realize the constant.
True. And he plays a part in that as well.
Right, which was
the crossover.
Perfectly cast. Perfect position of that character to show up with Desmond, as Desmond is figuring out that he is now going to be the constant for all of these characters finding their way to the end.
Yeah, and I want to say too, I think he's a fantastic character actor, but Fisher Stevens is
Short Circuit.
Yeah, he's
Short Circuit.
His name is Ben. Ben Javeri from Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2, which I love.
Which is better than Short Circuit 1.
It's hands down better than the first one.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. It's hands down. Sorry, Steve.
Circuit.
Sorry, Steve Guttenberg. Fisher Stevens was a better leading man in the Short Circuit series. I mean, every once in a while, I still sing "Los Lobos Kick Your Ass." Sorry. It's a better movie. Anyway, Fisher Stevens is a fantastic character actor, so I was very happy to see him come back in this episode and play the role of George again. And
I'm always happy when I see him.
Yeah. That's one of the things I've really liked about this series, is that other than the story and the characters, is that we get to see a lot of these great character actors kind of come in and play these little roles. And
he played the psychologist. He played Phoebe's psychologist boyfriend in the first season.
That's right. A friend. That's right.
You guys are all drinking these coffee cups, which I'm sorry, should have nipples on them.
So, but yeah, I was happy to see Fisher Stevens return and play George. And you're right, he's a very important character, and it was a great choice of character to bring back to be that kind of catalyst for Desmond to realize that he is the constant, or that he's going to be the constant between these characters, and asking him, like, can you get me the manifest of all these passengers? And now we know Desmond's going to be hard at work to bring everybody together.
Yeah, because he says, I want to show them something.
Yep. I think we were on the verge of making a different point when I diverted us by mentioning Fisher Stevens, and now I don't remember what that previous point was.
Zoe sucks. Scientists suck. Jin's purpose is nothing.
Nothing.
Jin's purpose is we are contractually obligated to put Daniel Dae Kim in another episode. So here you go, Daniel Dae Kim. We're going to waste your unbelievable talent as the character Jin.
Oh, man. It's it is what it is. I don't know why he was in there. I guess maybe we'll figure it out later. I don't know.
You know who I did love seeing was Daniel. It was so nice to see Daniel, not as a scientist, but as a musician, which was what he originally wanted to do from the beginning before his mother put him on the science tract. What was interesting to me was that Eloise seems to be the same no matter where she is, whether she's in the original timeline or the alternate timeline, which makes me wonder if she is the one that has been pulling the strings for everything, because she seems to know right where she is.
Well, but here's the question though. Is this actually Eloise Hawking or Eloise Whitmore in The Flash Sideways? Or is she basically just a manifestation? Because that's one of the things we kind of have to realize is that some of these characters that we're meeting and that we're seeing are not the actual people. They're just kind of manifestations of them to help these people move on. So, and to help them connect so that they can move on. So, who is real and who is not? Is Charles Whitmore actually Charles Whitmore? Is Eloise Whitmore actually Eloise Whitmore? Like that really is a question to me, is like, who is real and who is not? Does that make sense?
It does, but to hear Eloise say, "You're not ready, it's not your time yet," makes me think that Eloise, out of all the characters that we see, seems to be a step ahead or a step above of everybody else. And she's been that way the whole series, ever since we met her as a character. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't surprise me if she is the same, no matter what reality that she's in.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can absolutely see her being the same person. I mean, and I could almost see her being the actual Eloise. Like, she's always had a higher purpose, and that is like you mentioned, she's kind of the one pulling the strings on everything. Maybe not everything, because there's obviously Jacob and the Man in Black too.
Right.
So I don't know. There is a lot of confusion to Eloise's character.
Yeah.
Charles, I would think Charles is a manifestation. I do not think this is the real Charles Whitmore. Eloise,
why?
I would, because I don't think he would ever. I think there would still be a lot of. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I just kind of have this feeling that this is not the real Charles. I think this is a manifestation in order to assist Desmond in moving forward. I don't know. I really can't give you an explanation.
So you're saying that in Desmond's Flash Sideways, his deep, dark desire is to have that approval from Charles Whitmore? Because it would seem to me that he has no need for it in his original timeline, now that he's married with a son.
Well, and I think that might be it. I think that might be part of the realization, is that maybe in real life, Desmond did have that need deep down, that he wanted Charles's approval, mm-hmm. and never got it. He came to that realization already in life when he and Penny and Charlie moved on without Charles. So now he becomes the catalyst to bring everybody together. That is his purpose. He doesn't really need to move on, or he doesn't need to come to any realizations in the in-between, because he's already made them in real life.
Okay.
So he's brought in to bring everybody together, because we do know there is something special about Desmond.
Always has been.
Always has been. So maybe this is it. Desmond doesn't need to come to realizations in the post life, in the in between, because he's already actually made them in real life. He's lived his life and kind of came to grips with all of that. And whereas everybody else who has to come to these realizations, if you think about it, are people whose lives have been cut short. Jack's life is cut short. Locke's life is cut short.
Juliet.
Charlie's life is cut short. Juliet. These are all people whose lives have been cut short.
Yeah.
Saeed, Jin, Sun, these are all people's lives who have been cut short.
I don't know if you can make the same argument for Saeed. Saeed's wife died. You know, as far as he was concerned, his life was over. He didn't care anymore. But that could be why he, you know, is devoid of all feeling and isn't really a part of everything. I don't know.
But again, remember, he doesn't move on with his wife. He moves on with Shannon.
Right. Which is still weird, but whatever.
But that was one of the things we kind of talked about when we saw Saeed's flash
was
sideways.
That they weren't supposed to ever
is that
be
they
together.
were never supposed to be together.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to come to that realization. It was something he never came to in real life. Well, he kind of sort of did when he met Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there was always a part of him that still pined for her.
Maybe.
You know, and he needed to get over that before he can move on to realize that the person he's truly meant to move on with is Shannon.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, we've had that discussion before. I can't wait to see it kind of unfold in the next couple of episodes here. It'll be nice to see that again, and break that down again. But, yeah, I do love that, this is all going to be Desmond's doing. I like it that he's going to be the one that shows everybody the way. I think that there's no other character that would fit this role other than Desmond.
I feel like this has always been Desmond's destiny.
Yes, for sure.
This was always his purpose.
Yes,
and we're finally seeing that for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've always known. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, poor Desmond doesn't realize that on the island right now, but at least sideways Desmond does.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that either, because remember, he's very willing to help.
Oh, that's
by the end of this.
That's true. You're very right.
I think he's kind of realizing it. Like there's something going on here. Not only am I getting to be with Penny again, like I'm seeing my wife and I'm spending time with my wife, who's not my wife yet, but I have a higher purpose now.
He is the only one that is aware of his flash sideways.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like when I kept saying he's in tune, like he knows this is. Now the question remains, does he know this is a flash sideways? I don't know if I believe that yet or not. He believes this is a different world because that conversation that he has with Daniel at the end. Mm-hmm. I feel like I already set off the bomb and that whole thing. So Desmond knows there's something about this, whatever this is, that's special. He's a part of it. He's special. He's conscious of it. So he's important.
Yeah.
He knows he's important. He knows he has to put the work in, which is why by the end of it, he tells Charles, when do we get started?
Right.
He's accepting of it. So he knows he's a bridge between both.
But then, Saeed's like, okay, Desmond, let's go. And he's like, all right. He's just kind of like, sure. Okay, I'm following you now. Perfect.
Yeah. I wish so I don't want to say it. I was going to say, I wish Saeed would have killed Zoe instead of letting her go, but
Well, yeah.
It is what it is.
She's just an odd character. She doesn't fit. That's the problem. Maybe they got the wrong actress to play her. I'm not sure, but she just doesn't fit.
I don't know if it's the actress or not. I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a combination of I just don't like the actress. I don't think that this was a good role for this actress. I don't want to say I don't like the actress because I don't know what other work she's done. I don't think this was a good role for this actress, and I also don't think the writers wrote this character properly.
No, I mean, it's weird to have this many feelings over a minor character.
Other than Nikki and Paulo.
Well, yeah, but they had an entire episode devoted to them.
God, it's still to this day two of the most hated characters on this show, and I agree with it completely. You mentioned a lot of things that are kind of callbacks to things that have happened. You talk about the pictures of the ship. You talk about the two pictures on the scale. I want to say one of my favorite callbacks. I just had to throw this in there.
You all, everybody.
So you know what it is.
Yeah.
You all, everybody. You all, everybody. Acting like you're stupid people wearing expensive clothes.
Where is the rest of Drive Shaft?
Well,
they were supposed to have Drive Shaft play with Daniel, but we only follow Charlie.
Yeah. And you know what's funny too is when Charles says like my son is a musician, I was like, wait a minute, Daniel was a part of Drive Shaft? And then I realized like, no, like he's just a musician who wants to play with Drive Shaft. He wasn't in Drive Shaft. But you're right. That's a really good question. Where is the rest of Drive Shaft?
Right.
Was Charlie the only one that was supposed to be brought in, or was the rest of the band supposed to be brought in too?
I mean, if you're going to be playing with Drive Shaft, why would you only choose the publicly addicted, the public heroin addict of the group?
Maybe Charlie was Drive Shaft. No one person is ever a band.
Okay, Liam Gallagher.
Unless you're Freddie Mercury. No, that's not fair to the rest of Queen, because the rest of Queen is fantastic. Liam Gallagher, that's a good one too.
Trent Reznor was 9 Inch Nails before he got bandmates.
That's
Pretty Hate Machine. Pretty Hate Machine was recorded all by himself in his bedroom. He did all the instruments.
Okay, those are some good examples, and I enjoy being proven wrong. It's okay. I knew the moment I made the statement, I was like, this is going to come back to bite me in the ass.
And I was making a joke about Liam Gallagher because that guy has this like huge overinflated ego, and he's definitely not Oasis.
Yes.
That was a joke, but I do think that Trent Reznor is 9 Inch Nails.
I agree with that. I do agree with that, because I can't name any other members of 9 Inch Nails.
Atticus Ross.
Oh, there you go. Yep. That's another good one too. I think Axl Rose believes he's Guns N' Roses, and he's not.
He's not. His braids prove it.
What do his braids have anything to do with the music?
Don't you remember when they performed at the VMAs and he came out in those cornrow braids with Guns N' Roses? Jimmy Fallon announced them. He's like, it's Guns N' fucking Roses, man. And then everybody's like, yeah, Guns N' Roses. And then Axl Rose shows up in cornrows and everybody's like, what is happening right now?
I do not remember this, and I'm very happy that I don't remember this. I do not remember this at all, and I'm glad.
This is a weird moment in Guns N' Roses history.
Some of the other things that we kind of see too. I love the moment with Charlie and Desmond and their drive before they drive into the water. You see them driving past all the boats in the marina. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like a reflection of Desmond's life in real life, because he was living on the boat with Penny and Charlie.
I like the way that Desmond met Penny, where Desmond met Jack, but in reverse.
Yep. I have that in my notes as well, is that they met in the same place.
Lots of callbacks, lots of constants.
And I want to say, too, Desmond and Penny's love is real when you see somebody sweaty and out of sorts from working out and still think they are gorgeous.
Yeah.
That is love. Just going to put that out there. Like when you see somebody at their worst or towards their worst, and you still see them like in the beauty that they have, it's like, okay, you definitely have something. And then he makes the point like, I just fainted in front of you. So, and I also love that they're meeting for coffee.
Yes.
Like
maybe they can go Dutch.
Because there's another couple that we know are going to be meeting the same exact way.
Yes. I'm so excited.
I can't wait till we see her again.
Me too.
Because we haven't seen her yet this season.
We're going to see her. We left Sun in a very interesting spot. We're going to see her.
Yep. No, not Sun. That's not what I'm talking about.
I know.
Oh, then why?
Sun was on her way to the hospital. She said she was pregnant. She had just been shot.
That's right. And we made the prediction. We made the theory that Juliet was going to be the doctor that she goes to see.
Right.
That's
Come on, man. Keep up.
I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, other than like a lot of callbacks and a lot of setup and a lot and just kind of the idea that Desmond is going to be kind of the catalyst for the end game here, there isn't really a lot to say about this episode, but I do like the fact that Happily Ever After seems to be, it's like the beginning of Act 3 of the season and of the series, right? We are now going to move towards the happily ever after for all of the characters, and it's going to be Desmond who gets them there.
Yeah, I mean, we've made mention of some of the tragic endings for some of these characters. Some of which we haven't even seen yet. But you're right; it's a good realization, and it's kind of almost a comfort to know that even though a lot of these characters come to tragic ends, they still get that happily ever after,
which is rare.
Yes, exactly. So it's kind of. Yeah, it's kind of almost it's kind of a comfort to kind of think about that now, that yes, we have some tragedies coming, some very hard to deal with moments, but in the end, it turns out okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a comfort.
We got 7 episodes to get there.
Yep. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 6 actually, since the finale is 2.
Oh, okay.
So everybody
6, like Oceanic 6.
There you go. Everybody Loves Hugo, which is the next episode, The Last Recruit, The Candidate, Across the Sea, What They Died For, which is the penultimate, and then The End, which is the 2-part finale. So 6 more weeks to go covering Lost.
It's going to be great.
Kind of bittersweet. Going through my notes here, just because you're right, I really don't have a lot of other deep points to kind of dive into. Seeing Daniel as a musician was great. I loved seeing that. Let's see. Charlie's connection to Claire, which is obviously the woman he was talking about that he sees with the blonde
at first, though, weren't you nervous about what he was going to say because he started talking about Kate?
When was he talking about Kate?
When he said that he saw he saw a woman in handcuffs 2 rows ahead of him with a police officer.
Oh no, it didn't even cross my mind he was talking about anybody other than Claire.
Well, I thought he was talking about Claire, and then he starts talking about Kate, and I'm like, what's going on? And then he's like, oh, the police officer made him and realized that he had drugs, or like he got nervous around him. And then I understood what was going on. Also, I think it was probably like a little callback to the fact that him and Evangeline Lilly used to be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they were an item for a short period of time. Let me see. Whatever happens, happens, which is one of the lines that we get. Eloise saying, "You're not ready yet." We talked about. Daniel talking about Charlotte.
Yes, eating chocolate.
Which I think is a callback to how he first meets her, isn't it?
No,
when she's a child.
Words, yeah, but her last words are, "My mom says I'm not supposed to have chocolate before dinner."
That's right.
And then she says that to her. Or she said, kid Charlotte tells Daniel that on the swings when he first saw her.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And then the only other note I have that we, of everything else that we've talked about, in the beginning, when the first interaction between Charles and Desmond, when Charles is telling Desmond, like, you're here, I brought you back to the island. That lip snarl from Desmond was kind of like the, ooh, he is pissed moment. And then the following moment, he's beating him with an IV stand.
That was awesome.
Which was great because he deserved it.
He always deserves it.
And then we got, we got a kind of a callback with the White Rabbit as well. But other than that, that's really everything I have. It's not a lot of deep. It's not a lot of or gotcha moments in this. We kind of covered everything that I have.
Yeah, me too. I didn't have a lot.
So, no. And wow, this is actually the first time it's actually what we said. And the conversation wasn't heavy, but that's all right. Doesn't always have to be. Because like you said, this is the beginning of the end.
Yes.
Going forward from this point on, we're probably
balls to the wall, as it were.
Yeah, because you're right. We're in the third act now.
Yep.
We're heading into the third act of the finale. Next episode, season 6, episode 12. Everybody Loves Hugo.
Yay!
Which, if I remember correctly, is another connection remade with Hurley and Libby.
I think you're right. In a coffee shop, I think.
I don't know.
Is everything centered around the coffee shop? Have we forgotten this?
Maybe. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
But, it isn't. We've talked about Charlie and Claire. We've talked about Desmond and Penny, Sawyer and Juliet, Jack and Kate. This is one that we haven't really talked a lot about, and that's Hurley and Libby, because we will be seeing Libby again, and I think it is in this next episode, because it is a Hurley-centric episode. So only makes sense that this is, this is where it's going to be. But that leads us to the feedback section of the podcast, in which we actually do have 2 voicemails this week. One comes from our friend Jason, not Kabasi. This is Jason from San Jose. So let us play that now.
Hi, Ben and Kristin. This is Jason in San Jose. And yes, that was me who mentioned the episodic mirror moments in season 6.
That's what I thought.
Happy 100th episode of the podcast.
Yay.
I just hit the centennial milestone with my own podcast last week. Being that it is an anonymous recovery podcast, I will not name it here. However, I did do an episode called Lost in Recovery, and how this iconic show helped me in my recovery journey. And I will have more to say on that in the finale episode. And speaking of, will you be covering Lost Epilogue, The New Man in Charge, on the podcast? I certainly hope so. Anyway, back to Happily Ever After. The mirror moment occurs when Desmond is looking at the board for the baggage carousel information. And this one was pretty easy to spot. However, the one for Everyone Loves Hugo is a little bit harder to find. Anyway, pretty much every Desmond episode is among my favorite of the series. The Constant, anyone? How awesome was it seeing Charlie again?
You are everybody, acting like you're stupid people wearing expensive clothes. You are everybody.
That just made me smile. And I just love seeing Desmond's wake-up moments with Charlie and then with Penny. This is the first of many to come. It was also fun seeing callbacks to Minkowski and then Daniel and Eloise Widmore. There are a few other Easter eggs in this episode. I noticed the bar was named Jax, Jax, but I don't know if that was in reference to Jack Shepherd. In Charles' office, there was the McCutcheon's whiskey and also Jack Bender's artwork on the wall. And this time it featured the scales with the black and white rocks instead of the polar bears. Back when Happily Ever After first aired, I can remember crazy poof-haired Eloise was very mysterious about what she knew. Desmond was not ready. Now looking back, I believe that she was fully aware of what the Flash Sideways world actually was. In addition to Eloise and Charlie, I think there were a few other characters in the Sideways world who had their awakenings off camera. With those, more will be revealed soon. So wow, this seems to be the beginning of the end. That's all I have for now. This has been Jason in San Jose. Namaste.
Thanks for that, Jason.
I'm so glad that he talked about the bar name, because, LAX is the airport that they were in and out of. Jack is the main character, so to speak. So to have a bar named Jack's actually makes sense as to like foreshadowing of what's going to happen.
I could see that. And I did pay attention to the name of the bar, and for some reason it just never clicked with me that that's what it was, or that's what it could be, rather, is that it could be a reference to Jack. And, we'll see.
Not only Jack, but like the airport, because he does need the flight manifest, right? And it's this flight into LAX that really is kind of the the whole reason for Desmond's role in anything. And as we know, Jack is the one that is kind of selected to be the leader of the island, but he gives it over to Hurley. So, it is foreshadowing to kind of an end game scenario, maybe?
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. Jason, too, by the way, awesome. I love hearing that this show was part of your recovery.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the details of that. It's totally on you. You don't have to reveal them at all. I know you said you'll speak a little bit more about it when we get to the finale. But I love the fact that this show was a part of it. I love the fact that you have a podcast about it.
Mm-hmm.
Please send us information on that podcast. Yes. We will happily plug it if you want us to plug it. If you don't want us to, totally understand. But at the very least, send us information so that I can check it out.
Yeah, so that we can at least listen to your Lost in Recovery episode.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be great.
Yeah, send us information on it. And if you want us to plug it, we'll happily plug it. We'll happily do that for you.
I have a TV show that completely got me through the worst time in my life as well. So I totally get it.
I have one or two shows that helped me more recently through high anxiety of the pandemic.
Right.
So I can absolutely relate when it comes to finding comfort in one or two things, particularly television series to kind of help you through difficult periods. I mean, I'll say The Office and Parks and Rec were like key to getting me through my anxiety.
There you go.
So
Parks and Rec is the best.
I love that show so much. But thank you, Jason, for that awesome feedback as well. And that leaves us to our second voicemail, which of course comes from our friend Steve Brown.
Hello, Ben and Kristin. This is Steve, and this is for Lost Happily Ever After. Oh, we get an eye-opening open scene. We haven't had that in a while. They must be off the sub in some room on the island, because this room is way too big to be on the sub. Ooh, how ominous. The island isn't done with you yet, but he did smash him in the head pretty good. Whoa, they just cooked some guy, and now they're going to put Desmond in there? Okay, wait, who is Widmore's son that he says died on the island? Oh, yeah, that's right. Not the guy with the beard. Dickie Bennett. So we're back at the airport. Desmond just met Claire, and he's like, I bet it's a boy. And Fisher Stevens playing George. In this flash sideways, Desmond works for Charles Widmore, and he's going to go babysit Charlie. Oh, Charlie's talking about Claire, and it's so special. I see her. There's always a choice, brother. What are you thinking, Charlie? They just drove him into the water? Oh, I get it, the water, because just like in the real present. Oh, not Penny's boat. Oh, but this time he saves Charlie. Well, you don't need to find Charlie because Charlie just found you. None of this matters. Oh, Eloise. And Desmond's suit is surprisingly unrumpled for having been all wet and now dry. Okay, Eloise obviously knows way more than she's saying, because she knows what's happening to Desmond. And now Daniel is trying to figure out what's happening as well with Desmond. And of course, I don't remember any of this, so I'm just as confused as Daniel and Desmond. Oh, and Penny's running the steps of the stadium just like Jack was when he met Desmond for the first time. Or where Desmond was when they met running the steps. Okay, so now Desmond's on board. Oh, Saeed, out of the jungle, breaks that guy's neck. Oh, they're going to go have coffee together. Desmond and Penny. So Desmond's mission in this sideways flash is to find everybody who's on the plane and show them they're not in the real world. Oh, and nobody said the title of the episode. Oh, talk to you next time.
No mic drop moments from Steve this week.
I love him.
I love that.
And it looks that's two voicemails that agree with me about Eloise.
Yes. Yeah. I could be, again, I question.
No, you're wrong. It's not could be. You're just wrong. It's fine.
I never made a point. I said she could be real or she couldn't be real. I never said which one I think she is. I said she's a mystery. I love Steve's like Charles Whitmore's son, the one with the beard, Dickie Bennett, and I actually get that reference.
Good, yeah, that's a justified reference.
Justified reference.
Where what is that actor's name? Jeremy Davies plays the exact opposite of Daniel Faraday.
Yes, absolutely.
Highly recommend that show.
Thank you both for the feedback. Obviously, as we're approaching the end of Lost, we encourage you guys to leave us feedback as well. Easiest way to do that is go to revisitedpod.com to find links on how you can do it. Subscribe, watch, all that stuff. Or you can email us directly with an email or a voicemail at feedback@revisitedpod.com. I think the time has come.
Before we do recommendations.
Oh, do you want to do recommendations first and then we'll do the announcement?
It doesn't matter to me. Let's just do the announcement. And that way people that are just waiting for it can just turn it off before hearing our recommendations. So we've thrown out a number of shows that could potentially be the show that we dive into. We talked about so many shows.
We talked about Fringe. We talked about Once Upon a Time. We talked about Justified. Like there were Dexter. There were a number of shows that we threw out there. This one
we even played with the idea of doing Friends.
Did we?
Yeah, with Jill and
Greg. Yeah. Thank God we didn't do that.
200 shows. We would have been done when we were 50.
Yeah, we wouldn't have done it. I don't think we ever brought up this show.
No.
In discussion.
Not in discussion, but it sure has been brought up.
This show has been referenced a lot over the course of this podcast. This is a show that Kristin and I absolutely adore. It's very different from Lost. I don't feel like there's going to be as many hidden things or deep conversation. There's going to be stuff to talk about.
It's going to be fun.
This is going to be more the fun type of show to talk about. And I know it's a very popular show, and it has very recently ended, so it does fit our qualifications of a show that has finished. We'll hit the drum roll and we'll see. Our next show will be Ted Lasso.
Yay! We're very excited.
It's
bullshit.
Hold on. Bullshit. I knew it was going to end the song if I played it.
Oh.
Whistle. We have referenced this show. We have played sound effects. The reason why we chose this show, and I don't want to speak for you, Kristin, but I'm sure you'll probably agree, is that this show, in addition to being just a very wholesome, fantastic comedy, is that it touches on a lot of things that we have all kind of experienced in our life. Anxiety, panic. It's like family relations. There's so much that this show dives into that we love this show so much, and we just kind of feel like we kind of, in addition to just wanting to go back and rewatch it, is just we feel like there's so much to talk about.
It's a positive show. It has so much heart. It has a lot of real life application, like Ben was saying. It highlights, trouble with anxiety, trouble with relationships, trouble with working relationships, finding who we are as people and tearing down our personas and who people want us to be. I mean, there's so much to it. And then it's also just funny.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's so many moments that one of the things, if you've already seen the show, you already know, because
my parents are excited to listen to it.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, we have, there is a group of people that we have kind of revealed this to already, and they are incredibly excited. Like there are a number of people that like, I was going to start a rewatch, but now I'll wait, until we start. 'Cause at the rate we're going in September is when we'll launch into this. Oh, I also want to go back real quick and tell Jason, I think we are going to cover The Man in Charge on an episode. So the new Man in Charge or whatever it's called. I think we did talk about, we are going to cover that. That might be a relatively short episode, because that short, I think, is only like 5 or 6 minutes. But anyway, going back to Ted Lasso, it is like, there are so many moments that have left me in absolute hysterics, but moments that have brought me to tears, both in sadness and happiness. It's one of the few shows that I know of that can bring me to tears and then within the next minute have me laughing.
Through the tears, yes.
Through the tears that I
100%.
had.
100%.
I cannot wait to dive into the show with you.
Me too.
I cannot wait to dive into the show with the listeners. I hope you guys are as excited now that you know that Ted Lasso is the show we're covering. Please let us know. Send us feedback and tell us your thoughts on us covering Ted Lasso. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Have you seen the show? Have you not seen the show? We're going to have some people come on with us to talk about the show. So it's not just Kristin and I the whole time, which will be a new kind of fresh thing that we're going to do. Maybe not every week, but every couple episodes we'll bring somebody on to talk about the episodes. So I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm very excited. And I'm happy we finally got to announce it.
Yes, me too. Now we can just talk about it.
Now we can just talk about it. That brings us to recommendations for the week. I don't know if I have anything. Do you?
I recommend watching Stranger Things with your children.
Okay.
I have been watching Stranger Things with my kids. We've binged the first 2 seasons, and it has been so fun to watch the show through their eyes for the first time. Like, my daughter is just screaming at the television all the time.
I can't wait to get reactions when you get to season 4 with them.
Yeah, we're going to start season 3 today.
Is it season 3 or season 4? Which is the last season we just got?
4. Season 3 is the mall, and season 4 is when
season 4 is the trailer park.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 4 is the Eddie season.
The season of Eddie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I don't know if I've actually told this. Actually, I don't know why I would have told this story. So Joe Quinn, the actor that plays Eddie, is so huge now because of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The show that I worked a couple months ago, Fan Expo Philadelphia, Joe Quinn was a guest. He was supposed to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but something happened with his visa that he was not able to make it until Sunday.
Oh, no.
So the show, obviously cancellations and mishaps like this are part of the business. It happens all the time. But he was the big draw he was one of the big draws for the show.
Yeah.
Every time they were offering autographs, he sold out immediately. So obviously, originally it was just Friday. They were hoping to get him there Saturday, and he couldn't. Like, something happened, he couldn't make it Saturday. So finally, the show said, "Okay, if you can't make it Saturday, if you were only coming to the show for him, we're going to refund your ticket. You have 2 options: either we'll refund you your autograph and your admission for the show, which they never do." They never refund admission because they always tell you.
They're learning from Walker Stalker.
Well, no, they always tell you never buy tickets. And this is good advice. Never buy tickets to a show for one guest.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if that one guest cancels, you're out.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Right.
So ordinarily they would refund you for the autograph or the photo op, but you still had to pay for, you had your admission ticket. But because he was such a big guest, they said, okay, if you can't make it Saturday, and Saturday was your only day that you bought, like you didn't buy a weekend pass, you bought Saturday, and that was it, we'll refund you your Saturday and your autograph photo op. Or if you only bought Saturday, but you can make it on Sunday, we'll transfer your ticket from Saturday to Sunday. But everybody was like, well, his line is going to be incredibly long.
Enormous.
Joe Quinn, being the champ that he is, said to Fan Expo, I will get there as early as you want me there to start. Even if the floor doesn't open until 10, I will get there at 6 a.m. if you want me there at 6 a.m.
Oh.
He got there at 7:30. He had his booth was not on Fan Expo's floor because the line was going to be way too long. It was going to take up too much space.
That's JDM status right there.
Or Norman. Because Norman used to be like that too. He's not that big anymore, but he was. So they moved him to a separate area of the convention center, gave him his own spot, and he got there at 7:30 a.m. So before I even got there at 9, he was already signing for an hour and a half. So, and they were even going to pull him from his panel because he had a panel on Sunday with one of the other cast, the girl that played the cheerleader that he was.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I forget her name. They had a panel together, and they were going to pull him from the panel so that he could stay on the floor. And they were like, no, like this will be a huge panel. And if we pull him, then it's just her. Like that doesn't really make any sense. Let me tell you, I was downstairs of the convention center, working my way upstairs. I knew the moment they announced him because I heard the applause downstairs.
Wow.
The applause for him was huge.
He's an amazing character on Stranger Things.
I mean, Eddie was just a great
Eddie
character.
A good character.
Yeah.
On Stranger Things.
I'm saying was.
Is.
He's not coming back.
Oh my gosh, I will bet you $1,000 right now.
I don't have $1,000.
Well, I'll bet you something valuable then.
You want one of my cats?
You know what? Mark the day. Mark the time. What is it? It is Monday, July 31st at 12:07 p.m. People. Okay. Now that that's out of the way.
Eddie is a great character.
Yes, there you go.
Was. So, good recommendation, Stranger Things. That's a show I want to go back and I want to revisit.
We're on our 4th rewatch, and I'm still finding a lot of things that I didn't find before. And my kids are finding stuff that I never found before, which is very cool because it's their first watch through. So it'll be fun. It is fun. And we only watch it in the daylight for them. They can't watch it at nighttime. So once it starts to get dark, we have to shut it off.
I do want to rewatch. I do want to rewatch that at some point. The only recommendation I can say, I'm still in the midst of my whole movie shuffle. Like I'm trying to get through 50 movies by September 1st. And one of the ones I just recently watched was a movie that I kind of wrote off. Like I thought it was going to be great because of the cast. And then I watched like the first 10 minutes and I was like, I'm not really into this. I'm really surprised. I'm not liking this. I threw it in the watch because I never finished it. And I went back and I watched it and I ended up absolutely loving it. It's called The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that movie.
With Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. I was like, how can this be a bad movie?
Right.
And then I had a number of people tell me like, no, you kind of have to stick with it. You got to get through that first initial like half hour and then it gets great. So glad I listened and I went back and I rewatched it. I gave it another chance because it was.
That's how I feel about Severance. Especially like watching it. I loved it from the beginning, but my husband, Dave, had a really hard time with Severance. And then he said episode 4, it just like the slow burn wore off and the rest of the season was just phenomenal to the point that he's just like, just get through it. Just get through the first couple of episodes because it's the best season finale I've probably ever seen.
I have not watched it. I am purposely waiting now at this point because here we go going into plugs. You will be starting a podcast with our friend Jason over at Podcastica. Talking about Severance.
Yes.
Is there any word on when that's starting?
Soon.
Okay.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
We're still getting artwork and music together, and then we should be good to go.
Okay.
Ahsoka starts in a few weeks too.
Ahsoka starts in a few weeks, and also over on Podcastica, they just launched. I think the White Lotus.
Yes.
Welcome to the White Lotus just launched. So obviously go over and check out podcastica.com for all the other great podcasts that are over there. Check out my Wilhelm podcast. We are going into, actually speaking of Jason and I are going to be recording relatively soon our top 5 favorite Robin Williams movies. And that is going to drop on Friday, August 11th, which is the anniversary of his death.
Mm.
9 years since his passing. And I will tell you, of all the top 5 episodes I have ever done for this podcast, this will be one of the most difficult.
You're going to do great.
Not just in emotion, but choosing a top 5. It's an impossible task for me.
No, the best one is Good Will Hunting.
That's not my... it's not my number 1.
It's the best one, though.
That can be argued. I mean, look, it won him his first and only Oscar.
Dead Poet Society is also really good, too.
I can go on and on. Again, this is an impossible task for me.
Mrs. Doubtfire is great.
Mrs. Doubtfire, Good Morning Vietnam.
I've never seen Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, really?
It's an 80s movie, man. I've got that weird 80s movie gap in my life.
Yeah. All right. Well, adding that to the list for Movie Swap. While we're talking about that, be sure you're checking out our Kristin and I's Movie Swap over on Wilhelm as well. Last week we gave each other our homework of the Tomorrow War, which is what you gave. Well, it's actually what your daughter gave me.
Yes.
And I gave you We Bought a Zoo with Matt Damon. So we have not recorded on that yet. We're going to be doing that this week, and that'll drop by Friday.
Yes.
So you'll be hearing that later on this week. I've already got a list of, just for now, 15 movies that I will be working my way through giving you.
I'm excited. This is my favorite homework assignment right now. Are these movie assignments?
I like them too, because I not only watch what you gave me as homework, I rewatch what I gave you.
It's fun. Yeah. And now that we're recording tomorrow, I can rewatch Tomorrow War, because I haven't had time to do it because I've been working on this dumb project for the past week for school. But now I have time.
Yeah. So I've already watched the Tomorrow War, which we're saving the discussion until we record.
I've watched We Bought a Zoo. We watched it.
And I rewatched We Bought a Zoo as well. So we'll talk about them. Yeah. So WilhelmPodcast.com. Go over there and subscribe so that you can hear the movie swaps and the top 5 with Robin Williams and all the other stuff I do over there. Podcastica.com. Check out all the great stuff over there. And of course, revisitedpod.com, where you can find all the information on this show. Feedback at feedback at revisitedpod.com. Send us a voicemail, send us an email on feedback of any of the upcoming episodes, past episodes, and let us know your thoughts on Ted Lasso being the next show that we are going to cover. Or just leave us a comment on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/revisitedpod. Let us know there. I think that's it on my end. Anything from you?
No. All
right, then with that being said, thank you as always for being a part of this project, for being a part of this family, for listening, subscribing, all that you guys do. But until next time, we'll see you on another episode of Revisited, and further on down that rabbit hole. Take care.
Bye. You almost didn't say it.
I did it anyway.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!